Hey everybody, welcome to another game of War Machine. I'm Lightem'up. I got a battle here between Cygnar with the Haley 2 list going against my Mordikaar. So I asked my buddy to throw down a list that was a control caster, and he whipped out Haley 2 for me. Trying to see if my Mordikaar ADR pair can deal with control as well as Risheth King. So this list is a pretty standard Haley 2 list for these days. It's pretty good. I think Trevi the Great was running something very similar to this. So you got Haley with Squire, of course, Thorn and Dynamo. Dynamo with her is pretty amazing, being able to get 5 shots because of temporal acceleration, and then TK and everything else can get them up the board really fast. So then you got Strangeways, Katherine Laddermore, of course, Junior run the Firefly, 2 of the Riflemen, which are fantastic, Mage, Captain, Adept to help out Dynamo, Rhupert Carvolo, Anastasia di Bray because she's the best 3 points in the game, and of course the Cygnar staple Storm Lances, max unit of those guys. So we'll see how this one goes, and we're on to my Mordikaar list. So this is the exact same list that I played the last game. These were both testing out against a control caster, and I think this is going to be my control caster parent drop, basically. Because you've got the Cetraii in there with Vorkesh, being able to run spell immune. The Keltarii I'm not 100% set on still. I don't know if I want them or the Carax. I have not decided yet. We will decide that probably right before I go to the LVO. But this is going to be... This game is being played prior to the Skorne errata, so those points on this particular list might be off. I'd have to redo them. But I don't think they'd be off by too much. I actually might be under now. But we will see how that goes. Basically, I only have 1 Void Spirit in the list, but the way I play it, I should be able to get at least a second Void Spirit onto the table, and we will see if that is the case today. So, for this game, we'll come up here in a second, but I won the roll and chose to go first, and my buddy put me on the side, here we go, put me on the side with a lot of forests and a lot of water, rubble, a lot of rough terrain in my way. Gave himself the hills, and the trench kind of center there is not really much of a deal. But so we're on to turn 1, and this is just going to be basically a standard turn. So my goal here is to send my Cetraii far up the board. They ran this turn. I'm not really too concerned about first turn getting shot at. The Tycom gave Pathfinder to the Keltarii, and I'm going to be having the Cetraii charge down that flank and take out his zone, try to hold down that zone. The Keltarii are gonna, the Cetraii going up the top zone. The Keltarii rushing up the middle to jam things out and give me time to win on scenario. The Sentry is over there so that he can protect my zone and shield guard for Mordikaar when necessary. And then of course Despoiler up the middle so that I don't know where I'm going to need him, so I want to have him as close as basically centered for everything. And then I've got the Willbreaker hanging out behind the Despoiler because I don't know which unit's going to need what next turn. We'll see what happens. Oh, sorry, down at the bottom is Tyrant Rhadeim. He is going to be that guy off on the side that can come in and kill a couple things if I need him to. Take out a heavy target if necessary. He's hanging out in that rubble down there. So on my opponent's turn, his force comes up with the Storm Lances staying out of, I think he tried to stay out of the jump threat range of Rhadeim, and then everything else just kind of moved up into position. Don't believe he killed anything. He may have killed one, Keltarii, I can't remember. But anyway, on to my turn. So this is going to be the positioning turn. It takes a little bit of determination. I'm not sure if I'm going to... I wasn't sure at the beginning of the turn if I wanted to shield wall and walk with the Cetraii or run with them to get them into the zone. Shield walling and walking, they won't be able to get into the zone. But I decided to go ahead and I'll be giving them Pathfinder this turn. The Keltarii will be running up to jam. Cygnar is really good at clearing out jam, but I figured give it a shot, see if it works. So here goes the Tycom. He's going to give Pathfinder to the Cetraii. The Willbreaker will go over and give Tough to them because this is pre-Skorne errata, so they do not have Tough yet. And they will go into shield wall and just walk up 5 inches to threaten that whole zone next turn. Mordikaar is going to go up and toe the zone, get most of the Cetraii in his feet, and go ahead and pop his feet, which is great. I mean, Keltarii under my feet are high defense against everything and even higher against gunshots. I think they go up to like defense 18 against gunshots, which is great. This Despoiler runs up with his Animus up. Sorry, did not run. He riled and ran. Sentry ran up. The Rhadeim got into position to be able to threaten most of the board next turn. And then on to my opponent's turn. So my opponent, that measured there from the bottom part of the screen, that was him putting Anastasia di Bray onto the board. He ambushes her almost every game. Normally people forget about her. This time I did not. She probably could kill or at least dismount Rhadeim. So good thing I didn't forget about her. And he's trying to just determine right now what he wants to get done with this turn. This will be a work turn, definitely. Alright, so right now he's measuring out where he needs Haley to go and proxy basing that. And then I think he's got it to where even if he misses an attack on my Keltarii, he won't be poltergeisted out of the zone. That was bad positioning on my part. He is activating other stuff first, though. That was Thorn going, I believe, and Thorn killed off a guy. And then Haley's going to walk up. She's going to attempt to stab, miss my Keltarii, and get poltergeisted out of the, I believe, out of combat. Oh no, she did not get poltergeisted out of combat. So she bought another attack and ended up killing that Keltarii. And then she cast TK one time on Storm Knight, and then reaction moved with Thorn. Unfortunately, all that other movement things that he was doing with the TK on the Storm Knight and the reaction drive on Thorn, he forgot that it was still Haley's turn and did not pop his feet. So he started moving on to other things, got about 2 more things into his turn, and then realized, oh man, I didn't pop my feet. Now I gave him the opportunity to not, go ahead and say that he popped it because I knew that's what he wanted to do. But he said no, he forgot it. He's going to play straight, so this will not be the feet turn for Haley. That could be a big mistake for her. But he'll see how much work he can get done on that side of the board there. He's going to have to protect himself. Right now, I believe the gun mages, the rifleman, just shot a couple guys, I believe. And yeah, so he was killing off Keltarii. So you see all the souls behind Mordikaar. Mordikaar's got, I think, 6 souls right now from the Keltarii. He's measuring out Dynamo's threat range and walks him up, toes the zone, takes a couple shots into Cetraii, declaring multi-fire attack. Ends up shooting a couple of them, but not killing any yet. On his second to last shot, I tuffed, and then on his last shot, no more focus left, he missed. So he got poltergeisted out of the zone, which is nice. And then now his Storm Knights are going to be going in on my zone there. So he's got a couple going into Rhadeim. I believe one got into Rhadeim and one got into the objective. That Storm Knight that just moved right then, that was, he was not engaging anything, and that was Void Spirit there, so he didn't have to worry about taking a free strike. The one that just moved up and is the proxy base did take a free strike from the Keltarii and ended up dying to the Keltarii, so good job, Keltarii. It's probably more than he's ever killed in his entire life. But all the charge attacks go, and they end up missing a few of them on, I think, the Despoiler, and he did not miss the Rhadeim, but he did dismount Rhadeim, but was unable to kill him. Killed a few more Keltarii. I'm up to 7 souls now with them, and then goes ahead and repositions, and that's the turn. So he will go up to 1 control point for dominating his friendly zone. and we're on to my turn 3. So, this turn, obviously, because she did not pop her feet, this is going to be a big turn for me. I've got to get a lot of work done. I might be able to kill her, I'm not sure. I measured to see if his Storm Knight that was in the trench that had repositioned, if it was within 9.5 inches of Haley. We're going to put down a proxy base eventually. I think we may have already done that. But I send in my first Void Spirit and end up killing the 2 Gun Mage Riflemen and then teleporting over to annoy... there we go with the proxy bases. Teleporting over to annoy Rhupert. And then... the Rhupert or Runewood, I can't remember which. And then we measured, and that Storm Knight was within 9.5 inches of Haley, so Sentry went up and killed him, turning him into a Void Spirit, which was nice. So I will have a Void Spirit in charge range of Haley. I'm trying to see if I can get the Willbreaker up there to get the Puppet Master onto it, but I wouldn't be able to do it. So I just sent him in, and he gets 3 dice on the attack, ends up hitting barely, and unfortunately with 4 dice damage does like 3 or 4 points of damage to her. Really sad. I think he's like dice -2. I rolled really crap. I might have done like 6 damage to her, I think. So now it's going to be all or nothing. I'm going to give Puppet Master to the Cetraii. I'll give Pathfinder to the Cetraii from the Tycom. And then I'm going to get that whole Cetraii unit is going to charge into the zone with, I believe I'll be able to get 3 of them into Haley. Mat 7 isn't great, but Mat 7 Puppet Master isn't horrible. She is defense 18, so I need 11s. It's not going to be. It's going to be pretty hard for them to hit her. That's not the entirety of the purpose, though. Basically, what I'm wanting to do here is, if the Cetraii hit, they'll probably just straight up kill her. But if they don't hit, I'll have 3 of them in range to do Essence Blasts. And I had plenty of focus with which to do Essence Blasts with. So 2 of them end up taking out the objective. Another 2 take out Squire and Strangeways, so they'll be controlling that zone up there. And then you'll see me lay out my focus there, or my fury there. I've got enough to boost 3 attack rolls and 2 damage rolls on Essence Blasts. So he goes ahead and does the first one, ends up missing, does the second one, hits, boosts the damage roll, and that 1 damage roll I spiked hard and just killed him. Well, not too hard. I think I rolled like a 10 or a 12 or whatever. But I killed her to the point and did not need to cast a 3rd Essence Blast. And that'll be a victory to Skorne. So, I'll win the game on Assassination. It'll be a victory for Skorne, and that'll be it for today. Obviously my opponent messed up with not popping his feet. He understood it, I understood it, but we were playing it as though it was a tournament, so no take-backs. And while I wanted to see if Mordikaar could handle the control casters, I believe he could. Even if Haley had popped her feet, I still would have been able to get 3 Essence Blasts onto her just by moving my Keltarii into range. And potentially, even if I didn't do that, I would have been able to get a few more things done on her feet turn. So it would have been a game, obviously a much more difficult game had she popped her feet, but it's not the end of the world that she didn't. I think the Mordikaar list is probably going to stay pretty much the same way it was. Obviously, I've already worked out the points. I just don't have them right now in front of me. But it'll be Mordikaar and Zadesh, I believe. So Zadesh 2 and Mordikaar 1 going into the LVO. So I hope to see you guys there. This will be my last plug for the LVO. I think I might get another video out next week. If I do, it will be probably... It should be the same Tuesday. The one 2 weeks from now might be a little late because that is the day I'm coming back from the LVO. I'm actually flying back on that Tuesday, so we'll see how that works. How that works out with my schedule. But if I see you guys there, please seek me out. I'll either have a name tag that says Lightem'up, or I'll usually be wearing a blue and white, or sorry, a blue and black bowling shirt. At least on the Saturday I will be. Always wearing my Beer Machine, War Machine t-shirts because I like the Beer Machine shirts. And I'll see you all there. Have a good one, guys.